Hey folks, welcome back to the Mike Lopez Show. I'm your host, AC Mike. Listen, we have a very special guest. You hear me say it all the time, a special guest. But we have a very, very special guest here tonight, live here in New Jersey. We have Miss New Jersey Educational Foundation. I just like to say Miss New Jersey, Alyssa Sullivan. Alyssa, welcome to the show.
Hi, Mike. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing great. Listen, so glad that you're here with us. You're ready to embark on something huge coming up very soon in Connecticut, going up north a little bit. Although you should be here in Atlantic City, they're going to bring it back to AC in New Jersey. Listen, before we get into some of that stuff, Alyssa, tell the folks, your start and where it came from and your passion for competition, what used to be called pageant and that whole thing, but where you're at because you've been around so long with it as a young lady into your womanhood right now, and it's blossoming.
Yeah, so it certainly has been a long journey to the Miss New Jersey job, to say the least. But I always say that when I watch that video of me becoming Miss New Jersey in June, it's a chilling moment. I get chills watching it. It was a beautiful moment to have that dream realized. But it was all those years that the doors were slammed in my face and I was told, no, you are not Miss New Jersey, that really built my character and shaped me as a person. And lately, doing a lot of interviews, one of the biggest questions people have asked me is, how did you not quit? How did you not give up? And at my send-off party a couple of weeks ago, I actually gave a speech about how there were so many times that I wanted to, but I just couldn't let myself do it because I knew I'd regret it for the rest of my life. And I really grew up in this organization. I saw myself change. I saw myself become a young woman. I was not a pageant child by any means. I had and have a tomboy mom who just put me in dance classes, and then I somehow worked my way up to getting myself into a pageant at the time when I was about 14 or 15 because someone told me about it and I just love to perform. So 10 years later now, the fact that I get to actually go to Miss America and represent our state is just leaving me with such a grateful heart and feeling really at peace, because all those years that I had to accept that I may never become Miss New Jersey, and now I get to live out that dream. And I honestly say it and mean with full sincerity that if I come home as Miss New Jersey and not Miss America, I will not be one bit upset or sad, because as you know, we have a wonderful state and it's just a wonderful opportunity and a blessing.
And it sure is, Alyssa. Folks may not know, I'm proud to be a board member, executive board member of the Miss New Jersey Educational Foundation. And I'm not patting myself on the back for that. The reason I say that is because as someone who was really not into pageants and competitions and whatnot, other than going to the parade, Show Me Your Shoes back in the day, being able to be involved the last 3 years with the Miss New Jersey Foundation, and then a few years was a volunteer of special services with the Miss America when it came back to AC in 2013 or 14. What you young ladies do, and especially our girls here in New Jersey, our young ladies, the money you raised, what you learned, how I didn't know, like I said, not that I had I was profiling or so to speak, but to meet the young ladies and the families was about education. It was about communication and that sort of thing. So I would love for you to touch on that a little bit, because a lot of folks don't know, may see the name there, education, but that scholarship money and whatnot.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I've been telling this story recently, but a couple of weeks ago, I was just in the supermarket at ShopRite and I didn't have my hair or makeup done. So at that point, I thought I was just a regular person, unrecognizable. And I had a woman come and tap me on the shoulder and say, "Are you Miss New Jersey?" And I thought, oh gosh. And she was so excited to meet me. And I said, "Yes, I am." And clearly she had looked me up or saw some things in the press. And she said, "Oh my gosh, you are so attractive." And, she was so kind. And, in my heart, I just thought to myself, she means only great things and good intentions by saying that. And we proceeded to kind of chat. But, in my mind, I kind of stopped in my tracks and thought to myself, if I don't continue this conversation with this woman, all she will ever know is that what it takes to be Miss New Jersey is to be attractive. She'll never know that I graduated summa cum laude from Rowan, or that I'm a TV reporter at PHL 17. So a big part of Miss America's mission as we move into the next 100 years and we celebrate that 100-year anniversary country this year is educating people, because those stereotypes are very real, especially in New Jersey, where it all began, with no malicious or ill intentions. But it's about showing people this is a scholarship organization, the #1 scholarship provider for women in the country. So it's really wonderful to see Miss America embracing what we bring to the table and not what we look like. And I'm really excited for America to get to see that in a couple of weeks.
And it is going to be very exciting. And I love the way you just explained it out there, because folks don't understand. And not that they think one way or the other, they just don't know. Some of them, whether it's ignorance or just not lack of information. But it's such a awesome organization, and working with the board and with the many other folks that run these competitions now throughout the state. It's amazing the planning and the work to go into that. So I'd like for you to touch into that, because it's not just show up and, hey, I'm going to dance and do this. There's all kinds of stuff that goes behind these things besides being in the Miss New Jersey competition.
Yeah, there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and you kind of touched on it a minute ago. I think it's important for people to understand that the people who help run the Miss New Jersey organization, from the local level to the state, are all volunteers. They are not paid to do these jobs. They do it because they love it, and they do it for girls like me to help us. And some of these women and men have been a part of my life for over 10 years, just helping me, and really have become a part of my family. So I think it's important for people to learn and understand that. In terms of prep, it's definitely a crazy time, and it really is what you make it. What you put in is what you will get out. For me, I always felt like you should be ready and be preparing for the job you want, not the job you have. So as a local title holder, I was always trying to live that job of Miss New Jersey. And you've got so many phases of competition. You've got the talent competition. So you're doing voice lessons, or you're in the studio, you're advocating for your social impact initiative. You are obviously getting the wardrobe together, all of those things. It is a job. And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions. It's not just putting your makeup on and looking beautiful. You live this job, and being Miss New Jersey is a job. It's a 365-day-a-year job. So to me, that's what I have always been so excited to do. Getting to go to Miss America is really a wonderful thing for me to get to apply for and to check off my bucket list. But no matter what, being Miss New Jersey is a job that I have always really been so passionate about getting to do.
And we couldn't have a better representative than you, I'm telling you that. And all the other girls were great. And I've only been around for Jamie and Jade. They were fine young ladies. And I got to, whether it was a couple events at different schools and whatnot, I just see the impact that you young ladies bring to schools. And when you go to these events, listen, we have about 1 minute left, and I'm going to give you a two-parter here. Tell us what it's going to be like. Again, you touched on it in the beginning of the interview, being up on that stage, especially that Sunday night. And I know you're going to represent. We're going to say our prayers and be, if it's God's will, you know what it'll be done. I know your faith is strong. What it's going to feel like. And also tell us an Atlantic City story, please.
Oh gosh, this is a big parter. So first and foremost, I have to say, like you said, it's all in his time and never mine. That's been the greatest lesson that I've learned in my entire journey to come full circle. If it is his will, then it will be done. And, I really feel like all of us women were made for such a time as this. So I'm so excited. You can watch on December 16th. The finals will be on Peacock TV streaming. It's so exciting. At 8 p.m. EST, you will be able to watch, and then watch it after on the NBC app. And the prelims will be streamed as well live on watchmissamerica.org. So that's very, very exciting. You'll be able to tune in. And Atlantic City story, oh my gosh, I love being in Atlantic City. Even though Miss America is not currently there, getting to compete at Miss New Jersey in itself was like having that Miss America experience. And the year that I was first runner-up, actually, I remember you had taken us to a couple outings, Mike. And the one day we went to a burger place on the boardwalk. And after I remember we were walking down the boardwalk, and we stopped by this restaurant, and everybody was just kind of dancing and having a great time and just enjoying themselves on the boardwalk. And I remember all of us girls just kind of stopped in our tracks from all the hustle and bustle of competing that week, and we just enjoyed ourselves. And I just felt like I love Atlantic City. As cliche and corny as it sounds, I do. I love it. It's my home. And we're so lucky just to be in Atlantic City, the history that is there. So it's never a bad day when you're in Atlantic City or when you're at the shore in general. So I'm so proud of where I'm from. And to hail from here and to grow up here. So thank you again for having me, Mike.
Oh, you're so welcome. And couldn't have said it any better. Listen, and it's not corny. Folks, we've been talking with Alyssa Sullivan, Miss New Jersey, soon to be, with our prayers. And we know she's going to represent Miss America very soon. Alyssa, thank you so much. And again, can't wait to have you back on.
Me too. Thanks, Mike.
Folks, stay right where you're at. We'll be right back with another guest.